right, guys. So today we're going to talk about Zello. So it's something I've been working on. Something I constantly work on is communications. A lot of stuff changes. A lot of stuff gets updated, such as radios that are out there, such as push-to-talk apps and other things. And Zello is something I've been using for a while. Had some issues over the past year or so, and I kind of figured them out here recently. So I wanted to go over that because I'm sure you guys have probably seen the same issues. And it's a fantastic tool, especially if you work any bit like me with different people all the time. It's a fantastic tool. So to put that in perspective, I've got 4 radios. I'll do another webinar on these, but they're a radio that has cellular, push to talk over cellular options, but also RF capability built in. There's only 4 that I've been able to find that are currently available on the market that do that. Most people end up using a push to talk over cellular option, which are great. It's fantastic, right? Like Nextel, if you guys are familiar. But the primary issue with that was, say, for example, on a couple of details I've worked just in the past month, 2 times, the areas that we were operating in Maui, just recently in Napa, there was no service. So it doesn't matter, they're just not going to work. You got a paperweight now. Your phone doesn't work. Obviously, WhatsApp and all of that's not working. Calls not working. So you have to resort to normal RF, line of sight radios. So pretty much all the options I found are just either push to talk over cellular or RF. So we used to carry 2 radios with us, which was annoying. Then I started using Zello because of the I'll get into that here in a little bit, the benefits of using Zello, and a backup RF option. And now I have these through Peak. They are, like I said, push to talk over cellular, but then you just switch the channel and you're on RF, which is fantastic because now it's one device that does both. So I'll get into those next time. What I really want to talk about this time is Zello, the push to talk app on your phone, the free version to test it out and see how it works, and then the additional settings which make it much more useful for us in the paid version. So let me show you my setup here real quick, and then I'll get into the settings in a second. So whoops. So guys, what I have, let's see if this works. Come on. Is that popping up for you guys? Can you see my camera? No. Of course, it doesn't want to work. All right, there we go. Awesome. All right. When in doubt, unplug it, plug it back in, right? All right, so here I got 2 things, and you guys can see this, right? You guys are good to go. All right, so these are the 2 travel bags that I have here for using my current comm setup with Zello. Okay, this is again with using Zello. This one's just a pistol case, so it's padded, and I've got the earpieces and everything I need in here for the 4 radios that I use. Now these are just RF backup radios, very good quality Kenwood Pro Talks. I keep the rubber band on here so I can plug in the earpiece, wrap up the earpiece, wrap it up and stick it in here, and I can keep this on my belt line while I'm using Zello. And if there's a reason to switch to push to talk, like normal radios, I just grab the earpiece out of that rubber band, put the earpiece in, and we're ready to go. So I've got this kit is set up with 4 of them. So these are really small radios. Now, being small, there's a pro con to everything. They're small, so that they're like 1-watt transmitters. So are they the best radios? No, not at all. They're really good because they're so small. They've got very durable clips. They're very clear. They're good quality radios. They're as good as it can be as a backup RF option. So that's and then get a quality earpiece. Okay, so that's the backup option that we carry when we use Zello typically. So again, I just keep it in this is a GoRuck pistol case, perfect size, and it's padded and very durable, so I like that a lot. So that's what that is. Now let me get this out of the way. The Zello setup I played around with. I spent an embarrassing amount of money on headsets, Bluetooth headsets, trying to figure out what works. Most of them worked very well, but they didn't have a hear through option. And if they did, it didn't maintain while using Zello. So say, for example, these from JLab, these units here, they have what's called that awareness mode. So you can actually hear the ambient noise. So it doesn't plug your ear, basically, if you guys are familiar with this. If you guys use AirPods, they call it the hear through mode or whatever. I think they call it that. I forget what they call it. But either way, so you can hear the ambient noise and you can adjust the volume with that. A lot of the headsets that I tried, the earbuds that I tried, as soon as you talk on Zello, it disables that hear through mode, and you have to go back into the settings of the app to turn it back on, which is useless at that point. I don't want that. So so these I've tried a bunch. Oh, and also it's just a personal preference, but I like to have an ear hook. I don't, these are fairly small for what they are, and they hide pretty well. They fit very close and inside your ear, so they don't stick out too bad. But I'm a big fan of having an ear hook versus just an earbud that just sticks in your ear. They tend to fall out of my ears when anything happens. I turn my head fast, my AirPods fall out of my head. So I like that. That's just, again, a personal preference. AirPods work very well. Apple AirPods work really well. But I can't seem to keep them in my ears, especially if something aggressive happens or whatever. So these are the option that I currently go with. These JLab, I'll put the link in here for you guys. But these are made by JLab. They have a good hear through option and an ear hook, and they're small, and they have a charging case, so you can have so your left ear in. If these actually last a very long time, and I haven't had them actually run out of power yet. But if it does, then you can just switch your ears. The charging case has connectless charging, and it has a built-in little USB, which is cool. So I'm really happy with these so far. The only downside of these is the ear hook is actually quite hard. It's made that way so you can actually bend it and fit it to you. But if you don't fit it to you properly, it's going to hurt after a while. So they're actually not the most comfortable, but they work. So something you got to deal with. Anyway, so I get a bunch of these. I actually have 4 of them. So I've got 4 of these JLab sets. I have one in my bag currently. That's why there's 3 shown. And that way, if I'm working with a group of people, say 3 other people, I can just hand them one. I can hand them this right here, a push to talk button and a JLab headset. And I could have them pair this to their phone, and we're all set up. The 3 of us are set up. So I've got 4 buttons and 4 JLab headsets ready to roll. So they can use their own if they're really partial to their AirPods or what have you. They can use their own Bluetooth, but showing up on a job, unless I told them to bring one, I don't expect people to bring a Bluetooth, earbud headset or whatever. So I bring those for our team, and I also have the wired headsets, and I have the little adapters for the Lightning, or if you're still a freaking Droid user, the USB-C. So I have all those adapters as well for the wired headsets. If we need to go wired for whatever reason. Sometimes Bluetooth, there's just issues with it, right? So again, these are all linked. I'll put that in here right now. Actually, I lied. I'm not gonna put that in here right now. I don't have it saved on this computer, but I will send that out to you guys. The link that has all of this stuff, the Bluetooth buttons and the headsets. One thing that I like to do with the buttons actually is when I set it up and get mine out here. So this is my set here. So what I do with them is, again, just a personal preference thing. I stick it on an old room key. Okay, so I keep an old room key and I stick it on that. And that way, when I put it in my pocket, it keeps it oriented the way that I want it. So if it's in my suit jacket pocket or my hip pocket or wherever I put it, it stays right there. And that way I don't have to go fidgeting with a button. I don't like putting it on my hand. I've done that in certain situations, but I don't like it on my hand. It's very obvious. It's just not my thing. So I like this, and I like putting it in my pocket. So a neat little trick for you there. Give that a try. Keep an old room key and put it on there, so that way when it's in your pocket, it stays where you want it. And again, same JLab headset, but these are mine that I use. So that's my little carry kit. So when I travel, I can just bring that with me. And that way, if I have a team of guys, there we go. I can set everybody up with headsets and push to talk buttons and link them up on their phones. So pretty easy deal there. Okay. So all right, so with that, like I said, I can give everybody what they need and set them up on Zello. So now if you have the free version, you're going to have some issues with it. It doesn't maintain the connection with your Bluetooth accessories. They've actually changed this over the past year or so. From my experience with Zello, they've moved those settings into the paid app, obviously kind of forcing you into the paid app, right? So the free version on my iPhone, it seems to last about 2 minutes, which can be a long time depending on how you look at it, right? But no, so the 2 minutes is it's basically like as you're talking on your phone, if you're not talking, after 2 minutes, it'll disconnect from your Bluetooth devices. So your button, you might have to hit it once and then let go and hit it again. The first button that press actually wakes it up. And that obviously is not really what you want in a protected context. It could take like 3 to 5 seconds to reconnect everything. And worst case is it completely disconnects and you have to then reconnect it open your phone and reconnect the Bluetooth, which obviously is not going to work again in a protected context. So you might have those issues. But getting back to it, if you're using the free app, you can just send people a link or a QR code to your talk group or network, as it's called in Zello, and you're good to go. Just make sure you go through the settings, because there are settings in the free version that the standard option, the default option, is that basically anybody can listen to you. So you want to make that, you want to make it password protected. So anybody that joins your network or talk group is only the people that you want, okay? But I want to show you some of the options here. Coming up here. All right, so here is the options panel for the network, or rather for Zello for Work. Here's a new one that I made, and this is how you add users. So this home screen here is how you add users and change your passwords and all of that administrative stuff. So this is the administrative screen. Again, to add a user, like if I wanted to set you guys up, I just hit add a new user. I put in your name or email or what have you. You click it, and now you're connected into your Zello is now connected into mine, but with all of the paid features. But I pay for it, which is cool. So like I'm paying for you to join my network. So that's kind of neat when we're working. So that way I don't have to tell you, hey, join Zello and pay for it. I can just put you on mine and I'm paying for you. And then you can create your different channels or talk groups or networks, whatever you want to call them, and add people to them, and you can control all of this, which is cool. And then here are the settings that I was getting to. In the settings, you can go through this and select anything. I don't like actually using the image messaging and text messaging in Zello, so I actually shut those off, because I want a solid one communications platform for texting, which we usually use WhatsApp, Signal, Threema, Telegram, whatever the client likes. And then we only use Zello for walkie-talkie. So I actually shut those off. That's why they're shut off here. You can go through all the rest of these settings, but what you really need to do is by phone, because they're different for each type of phone, Androids or iPhones, is you go into these settings, and what you'll see here is right here, the keep alive setting. The keep alive prevents the device from entering a sleep mode and putting everything in the background. So it actually keeps your Zello app alive the entire time. It won't shut it off. So that's one thing that really helps with your latency and lag time between hitting the push to talk and being able to talk. The keep alive intervals and how long the phone actually communicates to your Bluetooth, and basically how much it keeps it alive. And then here, this is a really big one too. The Bluetooth link keep alive, keeping the connection alive, so that way it's constantly talking to your Bluetooth devices. Now it says here that it's going to reduce your battery life. I haven't really seen that, and I really don't care. I'm going to keep that's worth it. I'm going to keep a external charger with me, especially if I'm using something like Zello for my phone. I know it's going to take more battery, so you should have a backup battery pack with you, or battery case, or whatever you guys end up using. But just keep in mind, the more you use your phone, the more it's going to die, just naturally. It is what it is. So I would highly suggest putting those three options on, and shortening the keep alive intervals. Get the keep alive option on, and the Bluetooth link keep alive option on. The rest of them are personal preference, however you want to set it up for your voice quality, for all kinds of other things, for your buttons. There's a ton of settings, so it depends on how you do it. I have the voice quality as good as it gets. I keep all of the settings as short as they get. Again, all takes more battery power, but it makes it work a lot better. So all of those settings really come in handy. With the paid version, you can actually have a desktop and web console. So somebody could be sitting at a desktop or laptop and actually listen into Zello and control everything and see everything. I don't use it as this, but you can actually track everybody. So I have that off. That costs another like $4 per person per month, and I don't really care for it. I'm not going to pay for it. I like using something else like Life 360. But there's a lot of options here, and they're coming out with some more with the Zello paid. But those are the options. If you've used Zello and you've had issues, I think you can agree with me that these options are what are causing those issues. The keep alive options, the intervals, and the Bluetooth link keep alive. I'm sure you can understand what I'm saying, that those options are what have caused your issues. So they have a 14-day free trial. So you can sign up and try it for 2 weeks and see if it works for you. What's great about it is, for when, like, say for example, for me, when I travel for work, I'm going to end up working with people that I don't necessarily want to issue them a radio, or I don't know how many people I might be working with. Sometimes you show up and I think I'm working with 2 or 3 or 4, and I'm working with 6 or 8, whatever it is. So Zello is super easy. Everyone's got a phone, and pretty much everyone's got a Bluetooth headset, and that's why I even bring them. So that way I can give those out, and we could all be linked up on a instant push to talk network. Cost, it's $8 per user per month. But here's the cool thing. Say you set it up for yourself, you pay for your $8 user. It's $8 for 30 days. So say, Carl, I see you up there. Say, Carl, I work with you when I'm out in Colorado next month. I come out there and I work with you. I add you for the 3-day detail. I pay for those 3 days of adding you to my account. If I add you to my account and on the 3rd day I take you off, I pay for you for 3 days. Divide $8 by 30 times 3. That's what it costs me. So it's really cost effective if you look at it that way. You're basically paying for your primaries that you keep alive all the time, $8 a month, and then anybody else that you add, you pay a prorated rate on them, which is nothing. I mean, it's like dollars. So no more than $8 a month for that user. So if you look at this, my radios, you're looking at like $600, $500 to $600 per unit, and then you're looking at a minimum of $25 a month per radio. Okay. So that's expensive, if you would agree with me. I think we can all agree with that. So something like Zello, where everybody already has the ability to download a free app and use it, it's very cost effective. So why I really went into this was I say that I use Zello, and people are like, oh, it sucks, it doesn't work, and blah, blah, blah. Like, well, you're not using the paid app, you're being cheap. So if you're using the free app when there's a paid version, understand that you're limiting yourself. So I'm sorry to say it that way, guys, but if you want to really see if Zello works, how we use it, give that paid version a shot and see if it works for you. If it doesn't, it shouldn't cost you anything, because you get a 2-week free trial. And if it costs you anything, it's $8 per user. Not that bad. So yeah, give it a shot. I wanted to show you that because a lot of people don't see that side of it, the back end paid side with the options, and they don't understand how I end up using it. So if you end up working with me, we'll probably end up using Zello, unless it's only a couple of us, in which case I'm going to use my radios. I've got the in-ear setups with them. Oh, and also I'm waiting on the new in-ear. Actually has a I just got 10 of these on order. So in-ear now has a wired headset for your phones that they say works really well. So let me show you real quick. Big fan of the in-ear headsets and ear heroes. And now they have this. All right. Let me switch my screen. So now they have this, which is a for your phone, a push to talk setup with your in-ear headset. So it has to have the snap lock. They don't have one that has the 3.5, but that'll work with your in-ear, and you can plug into your phone, and that way you don't have to deal with a Bluetooth headset. It's wired in. So I have those as well. That's actually why, if you saw in my kit, I had the adapters for the Lightning and the USB-C. This is why. It's because they have that end point is 3.5, and you have to put on that adapter to plug it into your phone, being a Lightning or USB-C. Okay. So so yeah, guys, I wanted to just show you that and see how it works. And if you got any questions, let me know. It's good stuff. I really enjoy it. It's all very important stuff to have good quality communications. That's one thing that I actually really like about Zello is it's very clear. It's very clear. It's the clearest I've experienced. So check it out. And like I said, if you got any questions, let me know, guys. I'll show you how I use it and you can see if it works for you. That's what it's all about. So good stuff, guys. I will stick around for a minute in the chat if you got any questions. If you guys need anything, just let me know. All right. Good stuff, guys. Thanks.
Hey, I just want to say I appreciate the information. It's good to know, and thanks for sharing.
Yeah, John, my pleasure. Thanks for tuning in. See you.
Hey, Joe. It's Ali. We run Zello sometimes as well, and we have the Prime Bluetooth push to talk buttons. And I don't know if you've covered that initially. Sorry, I was on the call, but yeah, we found that if you pair them in proximity, it might pair to the other phone.
Yeah, so you have to be real careful when you do it. So basically, when you're setting those up, let me show you here. So 1 second. All right. So the way this works is, I'll show you here. So here I've got, let's see if you guys can see this. All right. So I've got the Bluetooth push to talk button, and I opened up my settings in the Zello app, in which case I selected the push to talk buttons. Okay. So here I have my the screen button. Obviously, I have my headset already set up for it. I actually set up my volume up button as well. So that way, if something disconnects or what have you, my phone's in my pocket, I just feel the volume up button, and I could press that and use that as a push to talk. And then I have the PTT-Z, which it says as showing not connected. But what I'm going to do is get rid of that. And so the way that you pair it, first you got to turn this thing on. And once it's on, what you do is you hit add a new device, and then it says hit it. So now when it senses it, when you hit it, it now connected it. So you got to be really careful when there's a team of you doing this, make sure that you do it separately, because now this is linked. And if your phone was trying to connect at the time that I hit the button, it's going to connect to your phone, like Ali's saying. So make sure that you do this kind of away from each other, and just be careful about it, right? So now this is all set up. This is connected to my phone. That's good to go. All right.
Good stuff. Thanks, Joe. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, good stuff. All right, guys. Anything else? Let me know.
Where are you getting
I'll post in the all over the place. I post my Amazon link that has all this stuff in it. So yeah, if you need anything, you guys, I'm not hard to get in touch with, or at least I try not to be hard to get in touch with. I get a lot of messages. I go through them as much as I can, but send me a message if you need anything. All right, thanks.